Have you ever been keen to write a character? Maybe it's for something you're writing, or a short film, a video game. Maybe you just want to beef up your imaginary friend. Totally valid. I know how hard it is to flesh out a character. You really need some questions to get you going, whether it's your primary character, your protagonist, a villain, a secondary character, the dog, the neighbors, the enemy. Doesn't matter. You really want to know the ins and outs of who exactly they are, what makes them tick, right? Definitely. So, in comes 222 character development questions for you to ask yourself as you flesh out this character. Let's say you're not in the business of fleshing out characters. You can easily answer these questions as they apply to yourself. You'll probably learn a lot about yourself that way. Shout out to Anastasia Kirkagai. What a great name, Anastasia Kirkagai, for creating this original list of questions. And I have included a link to the questions if you want a hard copy. It is in the description below. Yes, baby. Also, I received a request to answer some of these questions with a keyboard. So that is what I will be doing. And I received another request to shorten the time between the questions and shorten the time it takes to write the answers. So I'll also be working on that today. Feedback is the royal court. If you dig or you don't, just let me know so I can make the mark right. I seek to please to a degree. One last thing, final announcement. If you are to be answering these for your character, it is highly recommended that you move, think, talk, breathe, and believe that you are the character as you do it. Don't think, what would Persephone do? Be Persephone. See as Persephone. Let it come to you through that character. It's a lot of fun. All right? Perfect. So let's start with your name. What is your name? Very good. And do you have any nicknames? If so, who gave them to you and why? And who gave them to you and why? Very good. Okay. How old are you now? And when were you born? Year. Where were you born? Nice. And where do you call home now? To what social class do you belong? What is your eye color? And what is your hair color? Do you have any distinguishing facial features? What about birthmarks? Where are they? Anywhere else? Do you have any scars? How did you get them? I'm glad you're okay now. Sounds like quite a tumble. Do you have any tattoos? And how and why did you get them? What is it? Okay. Do you have any allergies, diseases, or other physical weaknesses? Allergies, diseases, or other physical weaknesses. Yes, it's quite a trifecta there. Do you want to start with allergies? Okay. Do you have any allergies? Lucky. Do you have any diseases? Okay. And other physical weaknesses. Do you get weak in the knees? All right. Are you right or left-handed? What does your voice sound like? Come on. I don't think I fully heard it yet. Wow. It's nice. How do you dress most of the time? How do you dress down? What do you wear when you go to sleep? Got it. Do you wear any jewelry? Yeah, tell me all of it. What do you wear? That's quite a collection you've got going. What words or phrases do you use frequently? Do you have any quirks, strange mannerisms, or defining characteristics? Quirks, strange mannerisms, defining characteristics. I've never heard of that one. Ooh. Okay. No judgment, no. Everyone's got their quirks. Do you have any bad habits? And if so, do you plan to kick them? And also, what are they? If you don't mind me asking. It's quite a bounty. Do you have a lifelong dream or aspiration? Do you own a car or other form of transportation? Why or why not? And also, bonus, please describe it. So let's start with, do you own a car or other form of transportation? And why or why not? And can you describe it? What is your current state of mind? Okay, now we're going to enter part two. Part two, family. How close are you to your family? Do you have a spouse or a significant other? And can you describe them, please? Go on, get as descriptive as possible. Have you started your own family? And if so, please describe them. And if not, do you want to do? Why or why not? So, have you started your own family? Do you want to? Why or why not? Who was your father? And what were they like? And your mother, what was she like? Who are you closest to in your family? Is there someone in your family that you wish you were closer to? What was your parents' marriage like? Did they remain married? If not, how did that affect you? And when did they split? Do you have any siblings? What are or were they like? When's the last time you saw a member of your family? Where are they now? Now entering part 3, friends and relations with others. In general, how do you treat people that you have just met? Does your treatment of people change depending on how well you know them? Who is the most important person in your life, and why? Who is the person you respect most, and why? Who are your friends? Describe them. Do you have a best friend? Describe them. Who would you turn to if you were in desperate need of help? Do you trust anyone to protect you? Who and why? If you died or went missing, who would miss you the most? Who is the person you despise the most, and why? Do you tend to argue with people or avoid conflict? Do you tend to take on leadership roles in social situations? Do you like interacting with large groups of people? Why or why not? Do you care what other people think of you? What habit do you have that annoys others the most? What is the most important quality that you look for in a friend? What do you value most in your friend? Part 4, growing up. How much schooling have you had? Did you enjoy school? Where did you learn most of your skills and other abilities? How old were you when you went on your first date? Can you describe the date? When and with whom was your first kiss? Are you a virgin? If not, when and with whom did you lose your virginity? Please describe any influences in your past that led you to do the things you do today. Alright, now entering part 5, influences. What do you consider your greatest achievement? What is your greatest regret? What is the most evil thing that you've ever done? Do you have a criminal record of any kind? When was the time you were most frightened? What is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you? When and where were you the happiest? Now entering part 6, beliefs and opinions. Are you optimistic or pessimistic? What is your greatest fear? Have you ever told anyone your greatest fear? What are your religious views? What are your political views? What are your views on sex? In your opinion, what is the most evil thing a person can do? Do you believe in the existence of soulmates and true love? What do you believe makes a successful life? How honest are you about your thoughts and feelings? And by that I mean, do you hide your true self from others in any sort of way? Why? Do you have any biases or prejudices? Is there anything you absolutely refuse to do under any circumstance? And why? Who or what, if anything, would you die for, or be willing to go to extremes for? What is your best feature, in your opinion? What do you think of drugs and alcohol? Are there any kinds that you wouldn't do? Why or why not? What is your idea of perfect happiness? What do you regard as the lowest depth of misery? Part 7, likes and dislikes. What is your most treasured possession? What is your favorite color? Why? What is your least favorite color? Why? What is your favorite food? Why? What is your least favorite food? Why? What is your favorite sound? Why? What is your least favorite sound? Why? What is your favorite smell or scent? Why? What is your least favorite smell or scent? Why? What, if anything, do you like to read? What is your idea of good entertainment? How do you spend a typical Saturday night? What makes you laugh? What makes you laugh hysterically? What makes you cry? What makes you cry hysterically? What, if anything, offends you? What would you do if you couldn't sleep and you had to find something to do to amuse yourself? How do you deal with stress? Are you spontaneous, or do you always need to have a plan? What are your pet peeves? Where do you go when you're angry or depressed? What do you do when you're bored? What types of music do you like? Favorite bands or musicians? What song is your song, and why? What is your favorite movie and why? Who is your favorite author or writer and why? What is your favorite time of day and why? What is your least favorite time of day and why? What weather is your favorite and why? What kind of weather is your least favorite and why? What is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? What is the most awful thing you've ever seen? What is your favorite drink and why? What is your least favorite drink and why? What is your favorite animal? Why? What is your least favorite animal? Why? Now entering part 8, self-image. Describe a normal day for you. How do you feel when your routine is disrupted? What is your greatest strength as a person? And what is your greatest weakness? If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? Are you generally introverted or extroverted? Are you generally organized or messy? Name 3 things you consider yourself to be very good at. Name 3 things that you consider yourself to be very bad at. What 3 words describe your personality? What about you is heroic? Are you a leader or a follower? And why? What is your responsibility to the world? And why? What talent would you most like to have? Part 10. Occupation and finance. What is your occupation? And if you don't have one, where does your money come from? Do you like your job? What is your boss or employer like? What are your coworkers like? Which coworkers don't you get along with? And why? What is something you had to learn you hated? Do you tend to spend or save your money? And why? If you were to gain an obscenely large amount of money, what would you do with it? Part 10. Sex and intimacy. Have you ever been in love? What happened? Have you ever had your heart broken? Would you consider yourself straight, gay, ace, bi, or something else? And why? Do you currently have a lover? And describe them. What are they attracted to? What is the relationship like? Describe your perfect partner. Have you ever been in a physical fight before? Over what? With who? And who won? What do you feel most strongly about? What do you pretend you feel most strongly about to impress people? What trait do you find most admirable? And how often do you find it? Do you think the future is hopeful? Why or why not? Do you think redemption is possible? Why or why not? Is there something you think is absolutely unforgivable? And what is it? Is it okay for you to cry? What do you think is wrong with most people overall? Do you have feelings that disturb you? What and why? On what occasions do you lie? Do you think it's okay to lie? Part 12, Supernatural Awareness. Tell the story about how you first became aware of or learned that you had supernatural abilities. What do you think now about being supernatural? Is it cool or is it kind of a challenge? Do you have a mentor? Describe them and how you became their student. Do you have any magical items? Where did you get them? Think of a major event that happened during your training or initiation. Describe the experience. What is something you had to learn during your training that you hated? And why did you hate it? What is something you learned during training that you loved? And why did you love it? Part 13, Goals in the Future. What goal do you most want to accomplish in your lifetime? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you could choose, how would you die? If you knew you were going to die in 24 hours, name 3 things you would do with your time left. What is one thing that you want to be remembered for after your death? Well, you should have the inner makings of your character now. If you feel called to share your character or some of your character's characteristics, I would love to read them. Thank you so much for